Class.
Honorable.
I need to ask why I'm calling you.
Okay.
Eh? I need to ask why I'm calling you here. Oh, okay. So I'll report you in this meeting.
Morning, Frankie.
Morning,
Morning,
Speaker.
Frankie.
How are you?
amendment to the Constitution has been unanimously and automatically extended by the chairperson without consultation with any political parties and without bringing the extension to the House. And I think that we need a full explanation as to how that extension happened, why the extension has happened, because that committee comes to its natural conclusion and natural end tomorrow. And there was absolutely no consultation. And members of that Section 25 committee were simply informed that the decision had been taken to extend the lifespan of that subcommittee. And I would like that to please be a special item on the agenda, because we need a very definitive explanation and we need a full discussion on that one, please. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Honorable Mazzoni. Honorable Mazzoni, I know that this committee's deadline is the 31st of August. And for now, I am not aware that there is any extension. In the briefing which I have received from the executive here in Parliament, I'm informed that the deadline is the 31st of August, and therefore whether there should be an extension or not is a matter which will be a subject for discussion. Mr. Kaso, in fact, should now be given an opportunity. Let's give him an opportunity to take us through that. But as far as I'm concerned for now, Honorable Mazzoni, there hasn't been an extension granted for this committee. Thank you very much. Also, are you here?
Ma'am, I am certain I'm here. There was some interaction last night between, I'm not sure, ma'am, if I should start deal with it now or when we get to item number 5, but I'm happy to deal with it now.
May proceed, Honorable Mr. Carson.
There was an interaction last night with the Chief Whip and myself. Now, the concern there is that the committee expires next week, Monday. And if the House does not do anything now, today, which is the last day of sittings, and the committee is not able to finish its work by next week, Monday, the committee lapses. And it will have to be reactivated, it will have to be re-established. So the sense was that the House must, this afternoon, the Speaker is right, that term has not been extended yet, but the intention was that for this afternoon, the House would have a motion extending the term of the committee. Now, this is what will happen. If the committee finishes its business today, we understand that it was going to sit today at 2 o'clock. It's okay, it will report, and that extension will be of no consequence. However, if the committee does not finish its business today, that extension will then become relevant. And therefore, the advice was that it should be extended to a time when the House will be sitting, not because initially the sense was that it must be end of October, but then there was the sense that it must be 5th of November when the House will be back at that time. But the Speaker is saying the House has not pronounced itself on that issue. The provision was just made in case the House wants to extend. And if this committee decides that the House will not extend, that motion will not be proceeded with this afternoon. So, Speaker, I thought I should just give that background. It was just to play safe so that the House does not have to be re-establishing the same committee over and over again when it can actually extend the term of the committee. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Klaso, for the report. Honorable Mkalipi.
Thanks very much, Speaker. I think yesterday on the Chiefs Forum, the matter that is under discussion now, Babu Kaso highlighted to say that you are going to have the discussions today. So we were waiting for that discussion to take place. But Speaker, the reason why I raised my hand, I wanted to comment on your opening remarks, of which I'm very happy to listen to your opening remarks this morning. And I once raised the matter here in the programming committee to say that some of the issues that you are mentioning, I proposed that at some point we need to have tracking of issues instead of using matters arising as tracking of issues, because some of the issues that are discussed here sometimes got lost because they are not tracked. So therefore, when I was listening to you speaking also about apartheid laws that was once discussed in this forum, and the report that we got then, it got lost somewhere. But now I was very happy when I was listening to you as well, commenting on pre-1994 laws. So therefore, I will also want to re-emphasize the issue of tracking of issues that are discussed in this forum, so we can be able to monitor them and also to finish once we've raised issues of importance. Thank you very much, Speaker.
I thank you, Honorable Mkalipi. Honorable members, shall we then proceed to deal with the item on minutes? Are there any matters in the minutes which require amendments? Are the minutes a true reflection of the discussion of the meeting of the 12th?
Chair, good morning. Swart.
Honorable Swart.
Good morning, Speaker, and congratulations, and thank you for your input. May I just suggest that we first accept the agenda, and I move to accept the agenda, and then we can possibly move on to the minutes. I'm not sure whether that is correct. Thank you, Chair. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Honorable.
I second that. I second it, Sheikh Imam. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Honorable Sheikh Imam. The agenda having been adopted, we then proceed to deal with the minutes of the last meeting.
Madam Speaker, sorry.
Honorable Singh.
It's Singh, yeah. I see quite a few hands up, and I don't know if it's in relation to section 25 and what Mr. Kaso said. Perhaps we can have a discussion later on in the agenda on and finish off the matter of section 25. Thank you.
Shall we then, let's, honorable members, I request that we deal with the minutes. And once we have dealt with the minutes and we are happy and we adopt the minutes, we then proceed to look at matters arising out of the minutes. And if the section 25 item matter is part of what was discussed at the last meeting of the program committee, then it will be a matter arising. But if it is not, then we will put it as a separate item, even though we have been advised already by both Honorable Kaso and by Mr. Kaso and Honorable Mkalipi that yesterday the matter had been discussed very briefly and that it is a matter which will be discussed by the Rules Committee. Or today we may have to take a decision on the matter.
Madam Speaker.
Honorable Speaker, my hand has been up.
I can't see you. I'm sorry,
Honorable Julius.
Honorable Matodina, there is now a member on the floor who I was recognizing. Thank you. Honorable member, I didn't quite see your name, but honorable member from the DA.
Julius, good morning, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, can I propose that we formally put the Section 25 committee matter on the agenda, and with that, I will propose that we adopt the agenda as is with the amendments. Thank you.
There's a proposal, honorable member, that the Section 25 matter be put on the item of.
My hand is still up, Honorable Speaker, on this matter.
Thank you very much, Honorable Machotina.
Thank you very much. Good morning, Honorable Speaker. Good morning to all honorable members. Thank you very much. Honorable Speaker, it has been a standard practice that a committee section will give a report to the NAPC. And the matter of what is happening in committees, it always comes. And that matter of Section 25, I see it not different from the manner in which we've been dealing with. Why do we want to short circuit that without getting the report from the committee section as it has been the practice? Thank you.
Okay. Honorable Machotina, and honorable members, I I'm assuming that under item number 5, then this matter having been raised by Honorable Jules and raised by Honorable Mkalib, that and Honorable Mazoini, that then this matter will form part of the report under item number 5. Is that agreed, honorable members? If it is agreed, I propose then we deal with matters arising out of the minutes. Thank you very much, honorable member. Are there any matters arising out of the minutes, colleagues?
Corrections.
Corrections, yes. You are aligned, Honorable Sinodi. Corrections?
No. I don't have any, Madam Speaker. I was just thinking aloud. Sorry.
No, don't think aloud. Yeah.
Silent. I'll be silent next time, Madam Speaker.
Honorable members.
Honorable Speaker,
yes.
There's a hand by Dr. Mulder. I don't know if it's
Mulder? I'm really sorry, honorable members, that I can't see when your hands are up. I'll get used to the gadget which I'm using. Thank you very much.
In the meantime,
Honorable Mulder.
I will assist with the hands, ma'am. In the meantime, I'll let Speaker know.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Honorable Mulder. Yes, allow me also to congratulate you on your appointment, and may you have a very good term as our speaker. Now, it's just a matter arising, which I quickly saw in the minutes, planning issue with regard to the Honorable Shivambu and the whole thing that was happening in that regard. And if I would like to know if there are any progress or any feedback on that matter. If you're not familiar with that, I think Mr. Kazu could perhaps fill you in. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you very much, Honorable Mulder. I'm familiar with the issue, and the report I have received is that the matter is being dealt with by the Deputy Speaker. I'm not sure if the Deputy Speaker is ready to give us a report at this meeting.
No, Madam Speaker, I'm not able to do that because the reported submission of the request from, or rather the note from the Honorable Shivambu has not reached me. He said that he had submitted that morning. So unless Ndate Kaso has an understanding and knowledge of that letter, I would not be able to provide any sense on that matter. We expected to have handled it, yes.
Thank you very much, Honorable Sino. Honorable Mr. Kaso, do you have any information on the matter, or should we?
Yes, ma'am, I do. The report was indeed received from Honorable Shivambu, and consultations have been done to just check issues of policies that are applicable to the matter, and the submission I'm told has been made to the Deputy Speaker, to the Office of the Deputy Speaker, but indeed it has not reached the Deputy Speaker yet. I'm aware of that, and I will be briefing the Deputy Speaker on the issue, but the matter is indeed receiving attention, Madam Speaker.
Thank you very much, Mr. Kaso. Honorable members, the matter is receiving attention, and maybe we should allow for the Deputy Speaker to then present a report at the next meeting, if it is agreed, Honorable Melder. I'm assuming that it is agreed.
We will act on that, Madam Speaker. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Are there any other matters arising from the minutes?
Madam Speaker.
Honorable Singh.
Yeah, thank you very, very much. Just for you to know, our expert on matters arising is quiet today, and that's the Chief Whip of the majority party. I don't know why she's very quiet, but she's the expert.
I'm connected in 2 meetings. I'm sorry.
I thought something was wrong. Yeah, Madam Speaker, the one issue
I
that
hope
relates.
there's nothing wrong, Honorable Singh. I hope I haven't silenced him. Thank you very much.
Okay, the one issue relates to the legal services looking at legislation And I think we need to appreciate and record the report that we received from the Minister of Justice and the South African Law Reform Commission on the call for submissions of colonial and apartheid legislation. I think we've all received that. So that was a matter arising. So thank you for that. And then the other matter which we raised in the Chief Whips Forum was that IT needs to continue looking at ways of how secret balloting and other balloting procedures could take place by those members who are on the virtual platform. I think it was something the Chief Whips Forum spoke about yesterday, but perhaps for this meeting to know that as well. So IT must continue with their work in that regard. Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Thank you.
Now you are a good deputy now, Mr. S.
We are just fixing something on Speaker's gadget on members. Thanks for indulgence.
I'm sorry, Honorable Singh. There seems to be a problem.
No, Madam Speaker, I think I'm done. Those were the two issues.
Network.
The two issues were the law reform and the other issue was the IT continuing with the exploring balloting systems, voting systems on virtual platform.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Honorable Singh. I am really sorry. There's a problem. There was a problem with my network where I am. I'm here in the Speaker's office, so I did not hear your input, but I know it had to do with the pre-1994 legislation. Am I correct? I'm really sorry I missed it.
That's correct, Madam Speaker. We've received a report, which we appreciate in that regard.
In addition, Madam Speaker, he spoke about dealing with electronic balloting for the future. And he says it also arose from yesterday's Chief Whips Forum. I would undertake that myself and Honorable Frolic, I hope he's here, we will put it on the agenda so that we interact with the team that works with technology to move us in that direction.
Deputy Speaker.
I see Honorable Frolic has got his hand up from Kabeja.
Honorable Frolic.
No, good morning, Honorable Speaker, and also the Chief Whips on the platform. Indeed, Honorable Speaker, I don't know why the matter is coming now to the Chief Whips Forum. The ICT has been working on an ongoing basis on this matter. We'll have an ICT focus group meeting next week, where we will receive a report, an updated report in the procedure that is usually used. We go to the Chief Whips Forum, and if there are any rule amendments that is required, then it will go through the normal processes. So it is something that is receiving our full attention. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Thank you very much, Honorable Frolic. Any other hand or comments on the matter? None. I don't see hands here. I then proceed to I propose that somebody then adopts the minutes with matters around.
I move for adoption, Madam Speaker.
Thank you, Honorable Singh. We now proceed to deal with a report by the committee section.
Good morning, Madam Speaker, honorable members and colleagues. Our report will start at slide number 3. On this, thank you, Madam Speaker. On this slide, it is the ad hoc committee to amend section 25. The matter has been briefly discussed earlier on. What we can report on is the committee is having deliberations today and tomorrow. They started on the 24th, and the proposed date to finish was the 30th, but in the previous meeting, it was reflected that there might be a possibility of requesting for extension. But so far, we have not yet reached that. The second update is on slide number 7. On this slide, it is the employment equity bill before PC on employment and labor. The committee has finalized the report yesterday. The next update is on slide number 8. It is compensation for occupational injuries and diseases amendment bill before PC on employment and labor. The committee is planning to do clause by clause. It did clause by clause yesterday, and the aim is to finalize the bill on the 31st of August. The next update is on slide number 16. On this slide, it is cannabis for private purposes bill before PC on justice and correctional services. The committee has added another date for public hearings, which is the 1st of September, but the aim to finish still remains the 24th of October. The next update is on slide number 33. On this slide, it is just progress report with regard to NHI processing. In short, what we can say is the team is working on the third part of the report. The aim is to finalize the report on the 30th, but there are still other information that need to be considered. The next update is on slide number 48. On this slide, it is secretary appointment before PC on communication. The committee has adopted the subcommittee program to deal with the filling of position at SABC. The dates are indicated. The aim is to finalize the process during the third term. The next update is on slide number 49. It's also the secretary appointment before PC on communication with the Media Development and Diversity Agency. Filling of positions, the committee adopted the program for the subcommittee, which also will start on the 24th of August. The aim is to finalize the process on the third term. The next update on slide number 50. On this slide, it's the appointment before PC on communication. That is with regard to ICASA councillors. The committee also adopted the subcommittee program on the 24th, and the aim is to finalize during the third term. The next update is on slide number 54. On this slide, it is the matter for the inquiry before PC on police. The committee has revised its program. The members have been given 2 weeks to finalize the terms of reference, and then the committee will start with its work on the 1st of September, and then the aim is to finalize the work on the 24th of September. This concludes our report, Madam Speaker. Thank you.
I thank you, Mr. Dao, for your report. Honorable members, the report has been presented to us. Are there any matters you would like to comment on?
Madam Speaker, it's Natasha.
Honorable Mazoni, yes.
Thank you very much. Madam Speaker, I think this is the correct time now to fully ventilate the Section 25 committee and the request for the extension. I have discussed this issue with my members, and I am assured that at no time during the last sitting of that committee was an extension asked for. They have, however, discussed the extension now recently, which was yesterday, and the extension, various array of reasons, and one of which Mr. Kaso is a particular committee. However, given how far the committee is along with its work, certainly my members and other members on the committee are of the agreement that there is no reason why the committee should be unable to finish its work next Tuesday. It has done extensive public hearings. It has done extensive work. It has met with the circuit tour for public hearings. Now, I'm going to be perfectly blunt, and Madam Speaker, you'll learn that this is something that I don't waste time. I always say exactly how I feel, which I think is the way we should be, especially in this committee. I'm now getting the feeling and the distinct rationale coming from this committee that there is an intention to stall the outcome of this committee until after the possible 27th of October election. And I think that is incorrect in every which way possible, because I think that this bill has a dramatic effect on all South Africans, and the South African public have waited long enough. There is anticipation and anxiety of this bill and get this bill dealt with as quickly as possible. So certainly my members would agree to, at maximum, a week's extension, because that is how little work there is to do. But the idea of extending it by 2 months, we find to be absolutely ludicrous and completely unnecessary. And we are very, very concerned at the sudden, what seems to be U-turn approach after they have worked so hard and under such immense pressure to get the work finished as quickly as they have. And that would be my submission, that if there is to be an extension, it is an extension of 1 week only. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you very much, Honorable Mazoni, for your comments. I will now allow Honorable Mulder, followed by Honorable Mkalipi and Honorable Singh.
Thank you, Honourable Speaker. Honourable Speaker, I also serve as a member of that ad hoc committee, and what the Honourable Mazoni says is absolutely correct. There's no reason why the committee cannot finish its work by the deadline, and if there is an extension, I would also support not more than 1 week. There's no other reason why we should extend it any further. We've been involved in this process for very, very long. The position of the parties are absolutely clear. Everybody knows exactly where we stand. There's nothing going to be in that regard to change the process at this stage, and I would suggest that either we do not give an extension or at least then just 1 week. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Honorable Mulder. Honorable Mkalipi.
Speaker, Mina, I'm on the committee section reports that was tabled by Dr. Dow. I think it's on page 7. Yes.
Okay. Allow me to just summarize this one first.
Okay.
Is there any other honorable member who would like to comment on the matter of the extension, possible extension for the Section 25 committee?
Yes, Madam Speaker.
Honorable Singh.
Yes, Madam Speaker, I don't want to comment on whether this is for elections or not for elections, because if elections are postponed, does that mean then we are going to postpone the work of this committee and the report to the House until February next year? So, but what I want to say is this committee has got to at some time complete its work. This matter has got to come to a head. It's been on the table for years now. And I remember when I personally suggested some extensions in 2019, I was almost laughed at to say, no, why are you suggesting such a long extension? But the rest is history. We are still extending. So I think the committee has got to be satisfied that they've completed their work and table a report. What I didn't understand, Madam Speaker, was that when Honorable Kaso said that they may, Mr. Kaso, well, he's an honorable man, when he said that, they could still bring a report to the House this afternoon. I don't know how that would have been possible without the matter being APC'd. So I think having any discussion this afternoon on the report itself is not possible, but a possible extension is something that we could discuss this afternoon. But we've got to bring this matter to a head. I think South Africans want it, as my other colleagues had indicated, want this matter to be finalized. Thank you, Speaker.
Thank you very much, Honorable Singh. Allow me to invite...
Speaker, Madam
sorry.
Speaker.
Honorable
Yes, my hand,
Yes.
sorry, my hand was also up, Madam Speaker. Now, I'm partly covered by Honorable Singh. I just want to get clarity whether this is 80 seat. I think I saw something like that. Did the committee deliberate on the possible extension? When last did the committee meet? The committee itself meet? My records have it that they last met on the 14th of July this year. So just clarity on that matter. Is the committee informed of this extension? Is it 80 seat? Can we get clarity on that? Thanks, Madam Speaker.
Thank you very much, Honorable Chu. I now invite Honorable Mr. Kaso to comment. I'm sorry, Honorable members, I will keep on making these mistakes, but I'll be fine.
Madam Speaker and honorable members, let me just clarify what I was saying earlier. We were informed that there would be some meeting of this afternoon at 2 o'clock. Now, this is a situation, honorable members. The term of the committee actually expires on Monday. I had initially said 31st. It's actually the 30th, and it's my error. It's the 30th. It is not able to complete. It does not exist. So from a technical point of view, it was therefore necessary to make provision this afternoon because there's no sitting tomorrow for the House to extend the term of the committee. So that is why there is this motion, which has not yet been dealt with by the House this afternoon. So depending on what is decided in this meeting, if the view is that there should be no extension, that motion will be removed from the order paper. The order paper will be reprinted and the motion is removed. However, we thought technically it's important that we ensure that the committee does not lapse on Monday, but we keep it alive until it is able to finish its work. Now, again, the rationale was if it finishes next week, it reports, and that extension is of no consequence. And again, we're concerned that we don't know, for instance, what the decision will be on Tuesday of the Constitutional Court. That will also have implications for this committee and other committees. So, Madam Speaker, I thought I should just explain that what I was saying earlier. It's not the report of the committee that is coming before the House. It's the committee itself. We're told that it will be meeting this afternoon. And what will be before the House, if agreed to, will be an extension this afternoon. But they must decide: is it an extension for a week? Is it an extension until November, as we're proposed? That is really where the matter is, Madam Speaker. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Honorable Mr. Kaso. I now invite Honorable Labude, and I want us to take into consideration that there are already honorable members who have made a definite proposal, which is that if there should be an extension, that extension should be a week. I now invite you, Honorable Labude, to make your comments.
Thank you very much, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, I think it's only fair for this committee to extend the mandate of that committee so that they finalize their work as soon as possible. So we support that motion to extend the mandate of the committee. So if they finish today or they finish next week, then it's fine, they will report. But they are not yet done with their work. They are still going to meet. It's not about the elections or anything. It's about the committee finalizing their work. They are almost there. Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker.
Honorable Labude, before I invite other honorable members to comment, is your proposal that it should be a week? Or are you saying we should then extend indefinitely?
Honorable Speaker, just to be safe, I think maybe we can extend for 2 weeks or 3 weeks. Thank you. Just to be safe, but we know that they are going to finish as soon as possible.
Okay, are you okay? Thank you very much.
My hand has been up for a long time.
I'm really sorry. Who is that?
Member Pop.
Honorable, I'm sorry, Honorable Papu, I don't know, my system doesn't show hands. I'm really sorry. So I will allow you to take the floor, followed by Honorable Ahmed Manzo.
And then Swart, Speaker. Thank you.
And then Swart, Honorable Member.
The proposal of November actually does not actually have a problem. It's not a problem whether elections are held, because if they finish, they will then table the report. 1 week proposal not be actually be because it actually says whatever happened will have to come. I think the proposal of November is far better because it will assume that they'll meet today and try and complete, and if that report is ready, it will come, and that extension falls off. So 1 week or 2 weeks may actually bring us to a problem, us coming back again to the NAPC to extend. So the principle of extension has been agreed. And it's better that, as Mr. Singh has always said, that you give a date further so that you don't actually have to come back again and extend. And we then push that through the committee section that they try and complete the work. It may be that work in a week or two, and then the report is then tabled and ATC. Because the issue is the motion, and the motion has to be today. Otherwise, we can't risk the committee falling off by Monday.
Thank you very much, Honorable Papo. Honorable Mulder.
No, I think it's Sheikh Imam next.
Sheikh Imam, then Honorable Mulder.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker, and congratulations on your appointment. Yes, I think, what is important to note is there is no clear indication from the committee whether they'd be ready in a few days or not. And I must agree with my colleagues that there's no need to continuously be extending and extending. What we should do today is extend it for 2 months. It will not affect the tabling of the report. If it is done sooner, even in a week or 2 weeks, they will conclude on the matter. So instead of get extensions, the NFP's view is that we should extend it for about 2 months, but emphasize to the committee to conclude the work as soon as possible. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Honorable Ahmed.
Swart now, Speaker.
Honorable Swart, and then followed by Honorable Frolic, and then Honorable Mkhalipi.
No, thank you, Speaker. It seems to us that the work of the committee is on the point of being finalized. So from our perspective, we support an extension, and we would support 1 week, but we also hear what the Deputy Chief Whip of the majority party says, and if it's necessary, for the utmost for 2 weeks. But I think that is wise, given the fact that the work of the committee is on the point of being finalized. Thank you, Speaker.
Okay, thank you very much, Honorable Swart. The next one is Honorable Frolic.
No, thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, and Mr. Kaso is correct. This is what usually happens when there is an ad hoc committee that is nearing its end of life, that the office of the Secretary to the National Assembly comes up with a different option. So he's supposed to do by bringing this to our attention. In terms of where the committee are at the moment, there has been different submission placed from amongst other with the National House of Traditional Leaders. Let's allow the time for that committee to meet so that they can consider whatever has been told to them and that they can deliberate and come forward with must consider. However, we have indicated, Honorable Speaker, 2 weeks ago already in the report of the committee section that it's unlikely that this committee is going to finalize its report by the date that has been indicated, and that the Secretariat of the National Assembly may come with a proposal. So that what the Chief Whips generally agree on now is that there is a extension that should be considered for them to deliver a quality report to the House. It's only the matter of the time that is still required, Madam Speaker, in terms of the current mandate of that committee, of how much time they require. And I think that the chief whips must try to find each other possibly outside of this meeting, so that when the issue of extension is put forward, there's been proper consultation amongst them. Thank you, Honourable Speaker.
Thank you very much, Honourable Frolik. I will allow the last two speakers, and thereafter I come in and summarize what I think I am hearing here. I also hope that members are reading the charts here. I see that there is a proposal from Honourable Singh, which is that we can extend up to the 30th of September, which is a month, whereas most of the people have spoken, FFDA have proposed a week if it is necessary, and Honourable Lakude said we should perhaps look at 2 weeks. So I want colleagues who are going to come in now to speak, to comment on those proposals, please. Honourable Nkalipi.
Speaker, there's a hand of Chief Whip of the NC. Maybe you still want to engage on the matter?
Okay.
We are sharing Nkalipi.
I was assisting you.
Just hold on there. Honourable Lakude, your hand is still up. I don't know whether you want to comment again, or you didn't take it down, maybe.
My apologies, Honourable Speaker. It's an old hand. I'm lowering it. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. Chief Whip of the Majority Party.
Thank you very much. Yes, thank you. Thank you very much, Honourable Speaker. Honourable Speaker, I want to second that this committee must finalize its report. 2 weeks is enough for the extension. No, let's extend for 2 weeks and only, so that they can consolidate the submissions and be done with. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Honourable Machodina. Honourable members, my sense is that there is. Yes, Honourable Nkalipi.
Yeah, Mina, I wanted to check on the report from committee section on page 7, regards to NHI.
Okay,
yes.
Honourable Nkalipi, I just want us to finalize, to round up this matter, section 25, ad hoc committee. Colleagues, what I am picking up is that everybody agrees that there may be a need for an extension, but if that extension is granted, it should be 1 to 2 weeks, except for one who has proposed up to the 30th of September. May we agree that we are granting this ad hoc committee 2 weeks to complete its work, 2 weeks if it's agreed, honourable members, but otherwise we can go on and on discussing this matter. Let's give the committee time, even though there may be people who feel strongly that the committee has now completed its work, but still, I think that let's give them an opportunity to round up everything so that when we receive a report from the ad hoc committee, then we do not encounter problems. So it's agreed, colleagues, that 2 weeks is adequate.
Agreed.
I see that there are comments on the chat as well, and everybody's agreeing. Thank you very much, colleagues. We now proceed to deal with the next issue on the committee, which is Honourable Nkalipi has been wanting to raise. Honourable Nkalipi.
Yes, thank you very much, Speaker. I just want to check on the progress, because here we are told about the capturing, which it's consists of high numbers, and we once raised this matter here, and we are assured that no, the deadline will be met. So I wanted to check on this matter, Honourable Speaker, if indeed you are going to meet the deadline in terms of this process of NHA A1.
Okay, thank you very much, Honourable Nkalipi. Honourable from the Mr. Tau from the committee section, do you have a report on that?
Thank you, Madam Speaker and honourable members. On slide number 32, we show the timelines. The 15th of November has been brought forward to the 4th of October. And in short, the answer is the committee has not yet revised the date. It is still possible to reach the 4th of October as a final date to produce the report. Actually, the team is now busy with the third quarter part of the report. One quarter is still to be considered. Thanks, Madam Speaker.
Thank you very much, Tatetao. Colleagues, that's the report. It's Tatetao is repeating exactly what is contained in the slide, slide number 32. Are you happy, Honorable Kalipi?
Thanks, Speaker. We'll monitor the progress.
Thank you very much, Honorable Kalipi. We now proceed, honorable members, to deal with the item on the bills. Who's taking us through that item?
Good morning, Honorable Speaker. Tobile from the Bills Office. On our report today, I will only report on the highlighted items. On item A, number 2, the Committee on Public Service has reported on the Ease of Doing Business bill, and it's now before the House for consideration. And on item B, we will move to line number 37, where we have a new introduction. The Agricultural Product Standards Amendment Bill was introduced, and it's B15 of 2021, a proposed Section 76 bill, and it's before the Committee on Agriculture. And on number 38, we've got the Public Administration Laws General Amendment Bill, also introduced as B16 of 2021, proposed Section 76, before the Committee on Public Service and Administration. And the last one is the second Special Appropriation Bill, and it's Bill number 17 of 2021, proposed Section 77, before the Standing Committee on Appropriations. And that's all from the Bills Office, Madam Speaker. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Ms. Kyobile. So we have 4 bills. As I mentioned earlier on, honorable members as well, that my attention has been drawn to the fact that there are bills which have not been accepted to by the President, and this is a matter which I am taking up with the Presidency. And please be patient with us on that one. I will come back to you and give you a report. Are there any comments on the report given to us by Ms. Jobile? None. If there are none, colleagues, shall we then proceed to deal with and consider the draft parliamentary program? Mr. Tasso, will you please take us through?
Certainly, Madam Speaker. Today, we're dealing with committee reports, and starting with member statements. And these are the reports of higher education, financial management of parliament, and small business development, and international relations and cooperation. Then we'll take motions without notice and notices of motion. And then tomorrow it's Women's Parliament, starting at 10 o'clock. The whippery has been briefed on the matter, and later on today, Speaker will be given additional information on the Women's Parliament. Next week, we deal with plenaries, the debate, starting with the debate on Women's Day, and then the NYDA, and the PC on communications, and another committee, PC on communications. Just to say, honorable members, before I move on, as agreed, we will this afternoon do the motion extending the term and the order paper that was sent last night will be reprinted to reflect the agreement of this committee. So that will be dealt with this afternoon in the House. Okay, on the 1st of September, we'll deal with international agreements, sports and recreation, and trade and industry, as well as public works, a petition by an honorable member. All right. On the 2nd, here we deal with committee with the report of the Rules Committee. Honorable members, this is a report that deals with a mechanism for monitoring replies to parliamentary questions. So the report will serve before the House as contained in that report. All right, we proceed to the 3rd of September. 3rd of September, we take questions to the President. And then the following